プレゼンテッドバイ K
Hello, 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 and welcome to Skycurser Daily number 24, where our goal is to put you in the cockpit of the world's most advanced fighter jet. On deck for today, we have Batsugan. It is one of the top 25 shmups of all time. According to the 2014 survey of shmups.system11.org, it's number 12. We are watching Batsugan. It's a shmup specifically on YouTube, brought to us by the World of Long Plays. Of course, their website is longplays.org, and they have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/user/cubex55. And these guys have graciously allowed us / given us permission to watch any of their videos in our top 25 list on stream. So we are picking up at number 12, Batsugan. So a quick little note. Let me just try to adjust my lighting for 1 minute, if you would. Quite a bit better. Let me try this. Perfect. I think I'll leave it right there. Okay, so why are we watching the top 25 shmups of all time? Of course we are. Shout out to Astra6. Thanks for joining us again tonight, man. You've been faithful to us for a good period here, so thanks for joining us again tonight. Okay, so why are we watching the top 25 shmups of all time? Yes, I do explain this at the beginning of every stream up to this point, but I want to make sure everybody kind of is aware. It could also be dependent upon when somebody hops in and starts watching our stream or our YouTube channel. We are building Skycurser. Skycurser is basically a meet hell, shoot 'em up, and we have been working on this shmup for a little bit over a year in real time, and it's not our full-time jobs. We are 3 indie devs who work on this in our spare time. I am the developer on the project. Chris, who is sometimes here with us in chat, is also on the team. He is the art director and also sound engineer. He does all of our sounds, all of our music. And then Phil is with us often in chat as well. And he works on our hardware a lot, and as well as a myriad of other things that he keeps from falling through the cracks. So we make a pretty good team because all of our skill sets complement each other really well. But we recently just took our arcade cabinet to MGC, Midwest Gaming Classic, and we're fortunate enough to meet a lot of people, a lot of fans of shmups, several arcade owners, and also some people online who were really looking forward to playing our game from various forums. I'm thinking of Neo Geo, KLOV, and several other forums online. So, but we got to have a lot of conversations. And Chris and Phil have been involved in the arcade scene for a while. Those are my other 2 partners. They've been involved in the arcade scene for a while, and they have a lot of this experience under their belt. They kind of know what it is exactly that somebody's referencing whenever they're having a conversation about this game reminds me exactly of this fill-in-the-blank shmup. And so, unfortunately, I'm not. So we're doing a little bit of research, a little background digging on several shmups, and so we're going to try to just familiarize ourselves with shmups in general. And I thought we would start with the top 25 shmups of all time based on the 2014 survey by the guys here at shmups.system11.org. When we're finished with these top 25 shmups, we'll probably move on to honorable mention, and then we'll go backwards in time in terms of these guys have gone all the way back through 2002. But we'll go backwards in time and find shmups that we haven't watched yet and make sure that we just kind of get a good feeling for all the shmups that are out there. But we've had a really good experience up to this point. We've only seen 3 other shmups, so if you're just now joining us, you haven't missed much. We saw Dodonpachi, we saw Mars Matrix, we saw R-Type, and tonight we see Batsugan. So we're going to watch that. That's about 20 minutes long. The entire playthrough is about 20 minutes long. And after that, we're going to hop on the game and begin working on some touch-ups for level 2 background. Also, probably the transition from level 1 to level 2, so that when the players finish with level 1, they go straight into level 2. I'll also probably start creating an operator menu, or at the very least some shortcuts where we can just jump to a specific level as we desire when we're booting up the game. So that's what's on the docket for now, and I think what we'll just do as we work through some of those items is just do some tech/code cleanup, tech debt paydown/code cleanup, so that we're just being smart about our project as we're moving forward. So I probably am expecting to see Chris, who signs on to Twitch as Skycurser. I'm Skycurser Dev. We'll probably be seeing Chris starting his own stream here in the near future, and so the awesome thing about that is we'll get to see him online working on the sounds for the game, the music for the game, and what is getting a lot of acclaim for our game so far is the artwork. How intensive the artwork is. It's pixel for pixel, straight up pixel art, so it's really awesome. So I think we're in a good spot. We've kind of given a little bit of background where we're at. Of course, I got to give credit to the guys at World of Long Plays since they've given us permission. So without further ado, let's watch number 12 on the top 25 shmups of all time, Batsugan. And I'm probably even pronouncing it wrong. All right, let's make sure. Good, we can hear that. So right out of the bat, it looks like it's a 2-player game. You can choose from any one of 3 fighters. Pretty nice minigun right at the start. It looks and feels really smooth right out of the gate. I like the fact that there are a decent number of waves of units already compared to R-Type that we saw last night. Now, had some conversations with Chris after that R-Type video last night that we saw, and it looked really super simple and easy. But Chris was telling me that that's the funny thing about that video is that it's actually really difficult to play R-Type. It's a pretty difficult game. But I think we were still right in some of our other observances that if you know what to do, it can be a little bit more simple. It's not quite bullet hell like some of the other ones that we've seen. I like how this one's already a stage 1 boss. Very short level. It might have said stage 1 boss 1, so it looks like, I don't know if the character level's up down there at the bottom or what, but of course we have Wikipedia to help us out, so let's take a look at Wikipedia here in a second. I like how the guns have already been upgraded at this point. Pretty simple weapon upgrades. Ah, there it is. So they did complete level 1 already. So the level 1 meter at the bottom is, I think, showing us that the player will level up as they gain experience. Bullets are always on top, as we see on all the graphics. The key thing so that the player can know where to dodge. So, let's see, a little bit about Batsugan. I'm going to turn this down just a tad bit. Okay. So, obviously Batsugan is a vertical scrolling shoot 'em up. And it says it was created by Toaplan. It says a now defunct Japanese game developer. Ooh, nice upgrade. Stage 2 boss. What are we? Man, that was quick. Love the spread on the weapons. One of the things that Chris was saying about the spread of the weapons usually comes down to player style on what they end up sticking with, and sometimes depending on where they're at on the level, if they're able to switch weapons. Often when you get to the boss, you switch weapons to a weapon that is like a very tight weapon so that you can have more power against one enemy. And when you're trying to cover it, like in this case, I probably wouldn't switch to a very tight weapon in terms of the spread of the bullets, because look how many enemies are coming on screen. Nice dodging here. This player's pretty good. Okay, so Toaplan, something like that. Developed in the arcade, for the arcade specifically, released in 1993. There was a second edition shown at the Arcade Operators Union. The second edition was called Batsugan Special Version. I guess they were both released to Sega Saturn in 1996 in one package. So I guess the specific genre that this is called is a manic shooter. I'll look at that and see what that means. Oh, it just linked straight to a shoot 'em up. So, shoot 'em up page on Wikipedia. Yep, that's all that stands for. A shmup. Smaller hitbox, shield protecting the player from one hit, more powerful bombs, new scoring items, addition of multiple game rounds or loops of increasing difficulty. Levels are so quick, but they look pretty difficult as well. Trying to adjust my light here. Cool. I like how in this case the boss is not just one unit, it's separated into basically 3 different units right there. So it looks like we're about a third of the way through. Very nice on the parallax background. I mean, most of the shooters I've seen up to this point have something similar to this going on. whether they're vertical scrolling or horizontal scrolling. Oh, nice level up, yeah. Okay, so that's the level up in the gun. Wow, that's really sweet weapon. Missiles and, I don't know, was that like a laser or Vulcan cannon still? So it looks like basically once the player levels up, they get the upgrades. Or at least partially, because I'm pretty sure when I saw him level up right there, his weapon's upgraded as well. There's a bomb. Not sure what that other pickup was. Huh, the shadow of the boss is right underneath the boss even when there's not a cloud. Small detail. I guess all of the units are that way. Interesting. They still look cool though. Yeah, so I guess the player's weapon is powering up this whole time. I don't really think I've seen the trigger for the power up, other than just increasing experience. I know those little P tokens, he keeps collecting those little P tokens, but I don't know if that's what the trigger is or not. Looks like he's about to level up anyway. Started over on level 3. That was odd for the power up. I wonder if that's just a thing whenever. I wonder if he's all the way leveled up, and if you have to level up each time you die, basically. Very interesting. Still, the enemy bullets are on top of the player's bullets. Again, that makes perfect sense, but small detail I'm noticing. Sweet, sweet, sweet graphics. Yeah, that's a lot of bullets. So I was looking at the Manic Shooter page on Wikipedia, which is basically another way of saying shmup, because as soon as you get to the Manic Shooter page, it says shoot 'em up at the top. And it says this genre was developed in 1961 by an arcade game named Space War. Pretty cool. Oh man, holy cow. That's insane. Huh. Man, I mean, how could the player even really concentrate long enough to see all those bullets? Stage 4, clear. More than halfway through. Looks like there may only be 5 bosses, from what I can see here. So I think this is the last level. I think, again, watch when the player's power-up gets all the way to the top here, down at the bottom, level 3. Yeah, it just restarts at level 3 again. So I'm thinking that must be basically when the player dies, they have an opportunity to level all the way back up to level 3. Because I haven't seen the player's weapons upgrade for a while. I do like the concept of upgrade based less on what you collect, because often those games where you have to collect the upgrades, they get a little bit difficult when you die, and then you lose all your upgrades. It would be awesome for you to get upgrades based on kind of experience. Of course, if you die, you lose all your upgrades, but you're on a level where there's a lot of enemies. You can get that experience back pretty quick. Very cool weapon ideas. With the upgrades on the weapons, these enemies seem fairly simple. I'm sure the game is very difficult, as Chris pointed out about R-Type yesterday. Yeah, these enemies look quite a bit more difficult than the enemies a second ago. So I'm sure this is the last boss. This boss, Round of the Galaxy. Wow, look at that. Oh my gosh. I love how new elements keep opening up on this. Wow. Wow. All stages clear. Congratulations. Here's the storyline thrown in again at the end like we've seen on all the other ones. Transformed into a cyborg by Dr. Gabriel, and then he went into the legend, the legend as a space hero. And roll credits. There you go. And the player who played this game, again, we saw, man, this guy we saw play the other day on Mars Matrix. Again, I'm not sure how to exactly pronounce his name. It's either Slouchy, Schlocky, Schlauky, something along those lines. Yeah, looked definitely very difficult. 35 comments, 8,600 views. Uploaded in 2013, March 24th. So that's basically it. And again, that was Batsugan. Now let's head over to Skycurser. Alright, so where did we leave off yesterday? We left off working on the level 2 background still. We just made some minor updates at the very end to the street lights. And Chris was going to send me the distance between each of the lights on the ground. So I'll go ahead and play it and show it off so that we can remember where we were at. But then we'll start working on transitions. I think the first thing to do would probably be best to set up the transition from level 1 to level 2, and I would prefer to just go ahead and throw most of those background objects into a script. So I'll probably do that here in a moment. Alright, let's go ahead and just kind of hit play so we can remember where we were at. Okay, so still waiting for the game to go. Here's the compile window. Compiling sprites at the moment. Making some progress. And it's loading the texture page. We just recently updated the texture page a minute ago, basically yesterday in the stream before, because it was too small and the game was automatically rescaling one of the images because the texture page was too small.
Skycurser.
Yeah, so that's it. Looks pretty good up to this point. I think I'm going to go ahead and take the sound out in room 2 at the moment, because right now, first of all, it's not the sound that's going to be in there, And in the end, and second of all, if I want to talk to you guys while we're in there to point anything out, it's a little difficult to do right now, just because it's pretty loud. So let's go ahead and take that out. No, it's not going to be in the background. It should be in the controller. And there's the sound. Okay, I think we're good there. The other thing I wanted to do was to, I think I like how fast everything is traveling right now in the background, but I did want to try to start moving everything over to a script. This is the create event. We could probably easily throw some of that over into the into a create script. So let's add a controllers one. Let's say create a group. The group will be, we're looking at background level 2. Create a script in here. And for this, we will copy this information, drop it in the script, background, I think we're going to call it init. We'll call it background level 2 init. Let me look at some of the other names of these real quick. Yeah, background level 2 init. And thinking. And I think basically what we'll do is we'll just call script background level 2 init right here. Most everything will come out. We'll pass its own object in, so we'll say self.id. And then the next thing we'll probably do is write one more script, script background level 2 generate. Let me see what I call generates here. So let's just say generate. Let's just call it generator. Okay, and now we'll take this stuff right here, drop it here, and then pass in the arguments that we want to pass in for this. So right here we'll pass in the object background 0. We'll pass in the speed, and the direction is going to be the same for every one of these, so I'm not going to pass in the direction unless I need to later on. So we'll pass in speed. We're going to skip over direction, and we're going to pass in depth. I think the depth on this was 0. Yep. So let's then come over here, and we'll just say background 0 is fine, or let's just call this background to keep it generic. And we'll say for this guy, one other thing we may want to pass in is the XY position. I'm not sure yet. We'll see about that in a minute. So let's say argument 0 for this one, and this one is argument 1, argument 2 is depth. So 3 arguments total, and we'll make notes here. Generate background for level 2, Argument 0 is object to generate. Argument 1 equals object speed. Argument 2 equals argument depth, object depth. Boom. Okay, everything else has a speed of 180, so there's not a need for me to override that at this point for the background. That may change in the future, but we'll see for a minute. So the next thing to do would be to pass in all the other objects that are going to be in here. I think we can check that out by going back into here and just recreating this multiple times. So we could take this guy out. This guy's gone. And let's put this right next to him so we know what that is. So he's gone. We've taken care of him. So the next thing we want to do is script background level 2 generator object background 1 speed of 7 depth of 10, and we'll pass in the street and the concrete barrier at the end of that. Do the same thing for this guy, script background level 2 generator, so we can remove this information. Background 2. So here's an instance where we probably would want an x and a y value because it deviates from 0, 0. And I think I will go ahead and do this because I think it makes sense for us. So let's do that. And I think the way that we're going to have to do that is pass in the x and y value. Let's do the x and y before. So argument 0, object x position. Argument 1 equals object y position. Change this to 2, 3, 4. And we change these guys to, this is the object now, it's 2, 3, 4. And still don't have to deal with direction, so I'm not going to change that yet. This guy then would be argument 0, argument 2, no, argument 1. Okay, so that pretty much does it, and now we're able to handle any of these additional values besides 0 in our script generator. So I need to make sure I go 0, 0 for these guys. And most everything will be 0, 0, but let's count how many of these we have real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 more. So I'm going to basically just copy this guy and generate 8 more of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we will update everything as it makes sense here. So 43. That guy goes there. This is a 2. That's a 7. That's a 20. I think that's it for that guy. And of course the name on that is a lamppost. Lamppost. Change this to lamppost 2. Lamppost 3. Lamppost 4. These are going to be similar. They're all at depth of 20, but the only real difference is the origination position, the X origination position. Tongue twister. So we're good there. take this guy, copy, paste, and then one more, copy, paste. Everything else is the same. I'll make sure it is. These are at 20. Speed of 7 is perfect. 20. Okay, everything else is right. Now we're on the near buildings. So we'll just update these real quick. Near buildings, mid buildings, far buildings, sky. And here we're 0, 0, then this is 3. I forgot to update these to 2. Let's update these real quick. 2, 2. And this would be then 4, 5, 6. Let me make sure of that. Yep, 4, 5, 6. And then speed is considerably lower, 21.5.1. Okay, 21.5.1, and depth is different on all these. So 30, 40, 50, 60. 30, 40, 50, 60. Not 70, 60. So I'm pretty sure that should handle everything. So pass everything into the generator there. Right, so I think we're good there. And that means I can remove everything out of here. So if you've been following me up to this point, you know recently I've been trying to keep my objects and my scripts separate. So this is my object create event. My goal is to call a script right from here and just go to the script and deal with everything in there. So I've done that here. This is the generator and this is the init. So I'm going to actually put a note up here. Initialize the level 2 background. 3 bars in GameMaker lets you put a note, and then 2 bars is just 3 bars is a note for, well, specifically it's a note for the actions, but since these aren't going to be actions, it's kind of irrelevant at this point. But since I'm used to creating notes for the actions, that's what those are for, and then these are just comments, the double slash. So I think we're good here. I think that should be everything. Let's update. Let's run it and see if we broke anything. I think we probably were fairly careful. It looks like we got something here. Unexpected symbol. Okay, so there's a missing parentheses. Okay, let's try that again. Save. Save. Alright, aside from that, I think we got everything. Let's check it out. Is this another bug? Okay. That is correct. Let's try it one more time. Don't give me another error. Okay, here we go. Astra 6, was that you telling me that you work with SVN? Bug. Okay, copy this, abort, take this over to our e-text editor, which is another IDE, integrated development environment. Object background level 2, it's having a problem with the controller. variable get background 0. I probably have to declare a variable. Oh, I see what's happening. The step event is having problems with this, so we're probably going to have to update the step event next. Awesome, man. What do you work on? Web software or gaming software, or what do you work on? Okay. Controller background level 2. Now, the question is, how are we going to deal with this? We're basically forcing ourselves to have to immediately go over and create a script, which we were having trouble with the other day in the first place. So I think we'll be fine, though. Just got to figure out how to deal with this. .NET apps that integrate with our core CAD/CAM design software. Awesome. Where are you based out of? So I think right here we'll say script, background level 2 step, and then we'll pass in our data here. Connecticut, awesome. As is the company. Cool, man, awesome. Script background level 2 step. Let's go ahead here, create a script for it. Script background level 2 step. And then let's try this. We may pass in the object that we're looking for. May just go object background 0. And trying to think if that would bite me at all. Basically, I could pass everything through here. Let me see. Argument dot. This is the generator. I think I could go, since I've passed in argument 0, which is the create event object, I could say argument 0 dot background 0 equals. I think this would work. I'm gonna check. I feel like I was having some problems with this the other day when I tried this, so we'll see. This is 2B. 2C. 2D. 3, 4, 5, 6. Should say self dot background 0. And let's just see if this works. It's going to be a lot of work just to test one, so I think what I may do is comment out all the others. Yep, go there, go there. There, there, there. Okay, and I don't need this guy yet. We'll come back to the background level 2 step in a minute. So we're leaving that out of it for this test to see if we can basically set a property, not quite a property, but it's basically an object on this object, an instance to this object, which is the controller, and see if that can get passed to the step event. Not sure that we'll be able to, but we'll try. And I think I'm going to remove the controls on the startup screen. I think what I'll do is turn debug mode on and just say if debug mode is on, then I can jump through the startup screen, because I'm tired of sitting through that startup screen. I bet I've wasted tons of time just watching the Blast City Studio screen boot up. So I've only tested this with background 0, which is the concrete barrier down in front, and it didn't seem to pick up. But we're gonna do that. We're gonna set this up so we can get past that screen really quick, because that is really bothering me that I can't just jump through that screen. Past there. Sound counter, room, go to room menu. Must be in room menu that I've allowed that control to be there. Let me see. Let's see what the objects are. I don't think that guy's supposed to be in there. Delete. Controller room menu, controller background menu. Let's look at controller room menu, see what the create event does. Stops all audio. See what the step event does. Script press start. That's probably what allows it. Where is it? Press start. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to modify this and put this script inside of the Blast City Studio room as well. We're going to put a reference to this. And we're just going to say, depending on what room they're in, if keyboard check released, global.gameStart and global.startOver is equal to false. Audio play sound, room go to level 2, sound menu select. Don't really need that sound to play, but let's just say switch. And the case is room get name. Yeah, room get name. And if the name is case room level, let's say room level room menu break, then go to room level, let's say level 2 for now is fine, since we're just testing really quick. We're still going to update the other stuff later. Room, I think it's just room Blast City Studio. Let me verify the room name. Yep, room Blast City Studio break. go to room menu. Where are we? Room menu. Boom. So, and we'll make sure debug mode is turned on too. Because I think the idea is that we want people to sit through that screen as it's booting up, kind of like a loading screen. But I think we'd like to just get through it if we're testing. Okay. Constant GM build date conflicts with built-in constants. Well, I didn't add GM build date. Macro GM version cannot be validated. Guys, I didn't add that. You guys added that before I upgraded. We'll change it to what's going to work. GM version. I think we're 1.4.1567. Man, guys, I did not create that one. Just delete it. Delete it. I don't care about it. Okay. Am I just not able to keep moving or what? Save. Cancel. Close. Man, I can't get out of there. Wow, Game Maker Studio, you gotta do me like that? I never added these constants and now Game Maker's complaining about this. I chalked this one up to the upgrade. Not sure what to do about that. What's up, Phil? Nah, man, it's all good. You missed Batsugan. No worries, bro. GM underscore build date constant. So I'm just doing a little bit of research. I'll let you guys kind of see what I'm looking at. Removed the first two lines for now. That seemed to work, but are these required in some other manner? Delete the values. Okay, just delete the values and not the entire thing. So lame. How does it conflict? Try this one more time. Can't delete it. No. Cancel. Keep looking at this. Removing them fixed it, but I can't remove them. It won't let me save it. Also get some variable not found errors, which I didn't have before. Fix it now with instance exists. Yeah, that's fine. And I'm still looking. I guess GM build date is the only one, the only mention on this page. Yeah, this guy's saying exactly what I'm saying, but the problem is I can't even remove them. That let me save it. So basically, after I removed them, I had to make one additional change in order to be able to remove them. That was annoying. Okay. Okay, so we're just forcing the user to go to room menu if they've been in the room for 7 seconds. But what we'll do here is just say if debug mode is equal to on, thumbs up, cancel out and restart GM in my opinion. Cancel out and delete GM? No, I'm just kidding. I think we got it though, so we're good. Thumbs up on that. Let's see if we can get past the Blasity Studio boot up screen. We should be able to now. Just trying to adjust my lighting here. Give me a sec. See if that works. Seems like it's pretty good. Alright, we're going in game though. Still waiting for it to boot. Finish compiling. Cannot use function/script name for a variable using room get name. Didn't like the fact that I was using room get name. Oh, I know what the problem is. Let me pull that up. The other thing I forgot to do was add script press start to the controller for room level, no, for the room Blasity Studio. Script press start. That checks every step to see if I've pressed start. And then we're modifying the script, press start, and we wanted to say instead of room get name, it's actually a method here, so we have to say room at that point. So we're getting the name of the current room. And if it's room menu, we're pushing to level 2 for now. And then if it's room Blasity Studio and debug mode is on, then we go to room menu. Let's try that again. Okay, rebooting. Perfect. Okay, so that got me where I wanted to be quicker. That's good. Now, let's do a little bit of troubleshooting as to why what we thought should work in the background level 2 was not working. So it should be executing this self.background0 is not existing, is not getting created. So script background level 2 init background level 2 init. Argument 0, I'm basically setting argument 0 or the object controller dot background 0 to this instance that's getting created. But I may need to return something. So back to the generator, let's return the background because I think that's what needs to happen in order for that to be able to catch and send back. And in the init script, we should probably return argument 0. See if that does it. Boom, got it. Yes! Oh man, that is so good. That is so good. Okay, so the last thing that we have to do there is hand this off to a script. And I think we can do that by just simply passing self.background0. Self.background0. And take this over to script background level 2 step. So cut this guy, save that guy, step event, paste here. If instance exists, let's say argument 0. I think this will just be argument 0. And all we do here is pass argument 0 everywhere self.background0 is. I think we can then say argument 0 dot background A. Okay, so I'm seeing I need to change this a little bit already, so give me a second. Let me back these changes out. I think I don't need to pass in the yeah, I don't need to pass in the specific background. Having a hard time making up my mind here. Okay, I'm going to try this first. Let's just try it. So argument 0 in this case is not the controller, it's just the background. Background, 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 background. And then we're going to set a variable, this will be the new background. No, that's fine. But we will change this to var background A, background 0A, because it's only necessary while it's in the script. So we just have a local variable and set argument 0 to background 0A and get everything else we need off of it. We may need to pass in the object name. So we would pass in the object name and probably say just asset get index and object name. So we'll test this first to see if it works. Last thing I want to do probably is return argument 0. Okay, let's play. See what we got. If it still works, we're in really good shape. We can apply this to all the other backgrounds. If it doesn't, we just keep working it for a minute until it does work. Boom. Worked. Okay. Oh, that's so tight. Okay, really good. Alright, we're in good shape there. Oh no. Huh. Guess we didn't call this. I guess we didn't somehow this didn't get saved, so we may not be in good shape yet. Let's check it first. And the other thing we have to do here is set self.background 0 equal to whatever the return value is from this script, so that when it comes back through here again, it knows how to send itself off and reduplicate as necessary. So save that guy, play again. Let's try it one more time. I thought I had already commented all that out, and that we were looking at the script and not the step event. The action in the step event, I should say. Smiles over here. Why is that, Phil? Got it. Nailed it. Okay, perfect. Let's apply this to all the other instances. Self.background1 equals script background level 2 step self.background1. I'm probably going to skip over background 2 for a minute. Maybe. No, I think actually it's pretty much the exact same for this guy. Script background level 2 step self.background 2. I mean, I basically just copy these, take it down to 6, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. And let's see if that does it. Check, play. When something finally works, yes. I love hearing the boot up noise and then you saying, yeah, that's tight. When something finally works. Yes. Usually, yeah, that's tight is associated with me trying something new and it working the way I hoped it would work. So. No. Everything's not working the way we expect it to. What could this be related to? Ah, I know exactly what it's related to. Remember how we said we need to pass in the object name? I wonder if I can do that by saying object get name. Yes, I can. Self.background 0. Man, if I could do that. That'd be really good, because then I don't actually have to type out the name of each one of these. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now that should return a string. Let's verify that. Hit F1 on GameMaker. That does pull up GameMaker. Object get name. We'll verify that it returns a string. Returns the name. And it says function will return the name as a string. So there's another function we're going to use along with that. On the script side, asset get index returns the unique index of the game asset with a given name. So you can use this function to get the unique identifying index for a game asset from its name. Well, we're passing the name in with the object get name, so we should be good here to just on the other end, which is in the script level 2 step, just to say asset get index argument 1. So this is the second argument that is getting passed in. Is the name on all of these. So let's try that. Play. Fail fish. Wah wah. Face palm. Okay, here we go, here we go, here we go. Bug. Alright, what's our bug here? Copy, abort, take the copied text over to here. Looks like GameMaker's crapping out on me at this very same time. Got a problem with we are duplicating. Nope. What does it say here? Line 5, non-existing object. It's having a problem with this non-existing object. So I'm wondering what this is returning. So in order to figure that out, I think what we'll do is just do a show debug message which will show in the compile window when it fails. So background level 2 step, and we would just say great object get name self dot background 0, and inside of here we go show debug message, and then make sure it's a string if it's not, and one more parentheses, and we'll say object get name equals, so we'll just do it with the 1. So this may not be returning a string. This may be returning, not exactly sure yet. So I thought it was basically equal to an instance, which if you pass an instance in there, in that method object get name, it should return the object's name of that instance, but apparently that didn't work. So we're going to go back in, watch it fail, but also look at the debug message that outputs when it fails. Okay, fail, and object get name is equal to undefined. So I saw it. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Man, I accidentally just closed it, but I saw it. It's coming back as undefined. So let me just look at the flow here. See, I guess I thought this guy right here was getting set to this instance. Let me see, level 2 generator, background. I mean, I would think that whatever's passed in here would be, you know, since I'm returning background to this guy right here, and then I'm returning that to the controller. I would have thought it would have been the object, but I'm not gonna waste time on this right now. It's a very minor thing. If I can get this working later, that's fine. But we can do this really simply here. Instead, we could just go object background 0. And I know this is actually a little bit shorter in terms of characters, but it's not dynamic. I'm basically hard coding in the objects here, and I would like them rather to be dynamic and only be hard-coded in one place, which is where I create them in the init script. Object background 5 and object background 6. Now this will definitely force it to work, and I'll take the asset get index off of the step event as soon as this is finished saving. So the asset get index is here. We'll just change this to argument 1 instead, because we're passing the actual object index in right there. Let's hit play, and that should pretty much force it to work. Boom, got it. Now the only problem that we're having is the issue with the lamppost, but everything else is repeating. Let me look into the lamppost issue, because I think that should be a fairly easy one to correct. And we might have unintentionally shot ourselves in the foot when we deleted everything, but I think the deal is that that one has to start at a different room width. So let's go back and look at the step event in the wrong place here. Step event, step, and instead of here we are. We've still got it here. This guy starts at the room width, and the step event. Let's see. So this is the thing that's got to change based on the specific object that we've passed in. So what we'll just do here is say x position, var x position equals background 0a dot sprite width -5, and then say if argument 1 is equal to object background 2, then xpos equals room width. And in that way, now we have xpos, we can just drop right here, x position, and that should take care of our issue. Save, play. Going back in. So pretty close. We do have it generating where we want it to. It's at the very edge of the screen. Let me see what we're missing though. We're missing something. Here's what we're missing. So we'll add this in to our script. in the step event again. So we'll say var xcheck equals 0, and then say if argument 1 is equal to object background 2, which is the light post again, xcheck equals that guy, and we can remove the parentheses since we're setting the variable right there, and just say xcheck here. Let's try this one more time. That should fix the lights so that they're pretty close, pretty accurate to where they should be. Yeah, I'm glad I just commented everything out and just didn't delete everything right off the bat when I started changing the step event and pushing it to the script. Boom, there it is. Awesome. Okay. So that's pretty close, and if you're paying close attention there, you can see that the lights are not always right over the lights on the street. And so I'm just waiting for an update from Chris on exactly where those are. Now, I know it looks like we spent a lot of time this evening and got right back to where we were last night, but we're being smarter with our code now. Our code is a little bit smarter. It's a little bit more maintainable. That's the important thing as we move forward. I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of cleanup here since we don't need any of this anymore. And I'm going to do one more slight thing, which is insert one more script, which is script background level 2 step gen. I'm going to call this regen, step regen. No, I'll call this background regen. Okay. Keep that guy, save. In here, I'm going to call this one. And what am I passing in from the step event? So we'll just pass in self.id, and that should handle everything. We should just be able to then take all of this. Self.id is passing the object controller over to this script, and from here we should just be able to call these other ones. We can return self just for the sake of returning it, and we can return self again here. It's for the sake of returning it. Self equals, we don't really need to in this case, but and let's see what we got. Make sure we didn't break anything on that. I may take that out if we broke something. Let's see. NeoZoom, what's going on, man? Nice to see progress. Oh my God, the project seems pretty complex. How many scripts do you got in here? Are you coding everything in scripts? So I'm basically creating NeoZoom, to answer your question. I'm basically creating objects, and in the events, in the specific actions in the objects, I'm pushing everything to scripts. I've seen multiple projects do this, multiple plugins and stuff do this as well. I think it makes more sense because basically inside of any one of these actions, you want to be able to have methods that are related to an object, and scripts are kind of a way to do that in GameMaker. Where's the little fuzz thing with the corner webcam? I miss it. I know, man. What the heck? It's gone. I've been working hard. If you go back and watch the YouTube video, you'll see that it's there a couple times during the stream. But I tried to fix it a couple times. Step event action number 1 at line 2 cannot set a constant to a value. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. So that's what I was talking about. We'll go remove that. Let me see how I did this here in the create event. Okay, cool. We're in the step event. We don't return anything in the step event. We return only in the script. This is the step. This is what I wanted to pass over to the regen. Yeah, so this should be in the regen. Where is the regen? This should be in the regen. And this should be in the init, or the step script. So, no troubles with some variable declarations. Still got mini creates event right. No, I'm doing pretty good with variable declarations. I've worked all that out, so it's working pretty good. I can explain any of it if you're wondering. Let me just think for a second though while I'm working through this. Self is going there. The regen still has argument 1, argument 2, and I'm returning argument 0. Yeah, I'm returning argument 0 because it is the new object. Let's see if I got that. Let's try this one more time. Yeah, I know NeoZoom, you and I have worked on variable naming issues together before, but no, I think I've got them all worked out pretty good. They seem to be working correctly the way I'm doing it right now. I say that and we'll probably go in here and watch a bug get generated, I'm sure, but I've been able to work them all out up to this point. Well, it looks like we got a bug generated here. What's this one? Step event. Action number 1 at line 2. Background regen. Can't really call it self. And since I just ported everything, it's having problems because I'm basically calling it self on the script. See if that was what they were talking about. Let's try one more time. So yeah, to talk a little bit more about that NeoZoom, I'm used to creating objects. I'm a software engineer during the day, and it's web software. And I'm used to creating objects, and each object being able to have its own methods. And the scripts, again, are kind of like that. They're kind of like functions inside of an object. Still having a problem with this. Regen. It's got a problem with number 1 at line 2. Compile window. Yeah. Yep. I think I've got everything correct here. Self.background 0. Regen. Return self. Let's try this one more time, but I haven't changed anything yet. I don't know why this... Everything worked when I had it here in the step event, and I was calling all these from, or when I had this in the step script, and I was calling these from the step event. Nothing really should have changed from there to here. Try this one more time. Tell me what's going on in the compile window, please, when you throw up an error again. Error, GML object controller. It's throwing that error right there. So it throws the error before it even goes through this. Expects 2 arguments, 1 provided. Aha. I see. Let's go to the normal event step. Let's look at the step. Self.id. Step. That's the problem. It's trying to shortcut and go straight to the regen when I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to go through the step event first, or the step script first, and from the step script I'm trying to call, I'm trying to kind of use the step script almost like a controller, but it's then calling all the other generate scripts. I think we made it past the error and we're going in.
Skycurser.
Boom, nailed it. Okay, cool. This is good. This is good. All right. I think that is probably going to be it for me for today, guys. Got everything kind of back to where it was last night. I mean, basically 100% back to where it was last night. The main thing that we addressed was shortcutting the boot up screen, the Blast City Studio screen. Now I could just get past it immediately. Also did some refactoring of some of the code that was in the create event and the step event of the background level 2 object controller. So made some really good progress there. You know, we're still working on level 2. The next thing that I'm going to do is introduce Skycurser to level 2. I'm going to do my best to reuse as much code as possible without duplicating code. Basically, use it in a smart way so that I'm not, again, just creating a whole bunch of technical debt that I'm going to have to pay down later. So I think we're in a good place. Next thing that will happen after I get that in is we're probably going to work on creating an operators menu. As you guys know, this is exclusive to the arcade. So we're going to create a menu for operators so that maybe they can do some things like change some of the color palettes slightly. Also, maybe make the game difficulty a little bit easier, a little bit harder, and some general other menu options. I don't know what all they're going to be yet. So the other thing we covered today was we got to watch what was our shmup that we watched today? Drawing a blank now, guys. It's right on the tip of my tongue. Batsugan. So we watched Batsugan, and that was a really good watch on the playthrough. I actually really did like the power-ups that the player gained. It looked like they were able to go up to level 3 in terms of experience, and I don't know that we really saw the player die or not. But when the player died, the level basically stayed the same in terms of the player's experience. I'm wondering if the player would have died, if the player would have been back down to no weapons. I'm not exactly sure, but really good playthrough. That was our 4th playthrough. We watched 25, I think 16 and 14. Sorry, let me make sure I get this right here. What have we watched up to this point? Let's keep them fresh because, again, we're just trying to keep up on our research and make sure that we're paying attention to all the other shmups that have been created and just learning what we can from them in terms of anything that we can pick up. All right, so I'm looking at the top 25 list right now. Top 25 list. We watched Dodonpachi. We watched Mars Matrix, R-Type, and Batsugan. So that's 4 total that we've watched up to this point. So I think we're doing really good. We're going to watch another one on our next stream. I'm probably going to be off tomorrow. It's my anniversary, mine and my wife's anniversary, so I'm really excited about that. So I think that's about it, guys. Add more guys, screen geometry test, sound volume set, and software test buttons. Ikagura, I think that's how you pronounce that. I thought it was Ikaruga, but was it Ikagura? Ikaruga, yeah. Ikaruga. R-Type is still my fave ever. Yeah, we watched that yesterday, and it was good, man. It was really good. Yeah. So that's it for today, guys. Thanks for joining me on Skycurser Daily number 24. I'll catch you on the next Skycurser Daily, and appreciate the support, guys, and I'll see you next time.